1, 2, 3, clap. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to yet another week of This Week in Gaming, where we bring you the gaming news that we want to talk about, and that's literally the only criteria there is. We want to talk about it. Nothing else. That's it. As it was told to me, I was definitely muted the whole time that I was doing that original intro, and that's why we have Stevie laughing his ass off right now, because I'm not even going to skip a beat. I'm just going to keep going. Jimmy, we had you on for trivia night, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, right? And you
Yes,
you
I
straight up
remember that time frame.
crushed. How you been? What you been up to? What you been playing?
Well, we're doing well. We're playing playing, my typical World of Tanks. We played a little bit of Ready or Not with Stevie. Had a good time there. Got our ass handed to us. I've been playing. My addiction the last 2 weeks has either been Guardians of the Galaxy or Spider-Man Miles Morales, of both which are really good.
Those are great. Those are so good. I absolutely love the
If I
story. The stories of those are phenomenal and kind of. I think they're overlooked a lot because they're not as flashy as other games, but the stories of those are just you get lost in them so easy. I love them.
I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy surprised the shit out of everybody because it wasn't the Avengers.
Yeah, I think everybody was expecting Avengers
Yeah.
Part 2 out of that, and then it
Mhm.
turned out it was actually kind of fun from what I've heard. I
Yeah.
we were talking about it a little bit before the stream got started, but I straight up just want to buy a PlayStation 5 just so I can play the Spider-Man games. So I'm
They're great.
just want to get
Worth
in
it.
there. It seems like it's worth it. It seems like it's what everybody wants to play is just those games, and that's it. So maybe soon, since we can apparently get stock in PlayStation 5s right now.
From what I'm understanding this week, you're seeing. I've watched it on Twitter pretty regularly. Is there's a very large amount of stock been floating around lately, so people are actually able to find them.
Oh,
Look,
that's wonderful.
I heard Shaquille O'Neal gave over like 2,000 Xboxes to PlayStations around there. I'm sending that dude's letters every day
Just
as
get
my
them straight up.
daughter, straight up as Evie.
Like,
I'm
For
yes,
only
10 months
one
old.
PlayStation,
I am 10 months old, but your biggest fan.
yeah,
for only one PlayStation a day, you can support a small child in Illinois.
perfect.
And her streamer dad.
It's a for free underscore. It seems like that's not real, right? It seems like that's
No,
not
that's
Uh,
real.
real. That's a real person.
That's a real person. That's a real person.
Yes, I know that person.
You
They
know
play
that
World of
person.
Tanks with me.
Well, thank you for following for free underscore. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Good support.
This
Getting it. And he's
for
getting ready to
for
ban them.
That's a real person.
for
This is
for
fake right
for
here.
free is another guy. He's a World of Tanks community contributor along with me.
Fantastic.
Oh wow! Way to
I know.
first impressions are most important,
I'm
Aaron.
just out there, just making friends with everybody out in the world. Speaking of making friends, Stevie, who you been making friends with at the VoIP on Tarkov lately?
Uh oh man, not as many people as you'd want to hear about. I did actually
Oh,
bait some poor bastard into getting shot in the head by wheatgrass
Oh,
because he was very rude to me with a double-barreled shotgun, and he deserved everything that he got. So
that's wonderful.
it's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and it's clipped on my channel, and I feel bad every time I see it, but after a nice hot shower and stiff drink, I feel better. So
That's good. Yeah,
I
that's
sleep
nice.
better.
I mean,
I sleep better.
who doesn't have at least one clip on their channel that they're not the proudest of?
About 9 or 10, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have all of your TKs on your channel, like, what are you even clipping? Like, I don't even like. What
I do.
are you even making content that people want to watch? Because I literally could just watch TK clips all day long
You
and
know,
just have so much fun doing it.
I haven't had a TK in a very long time, now that I'm thinking about
I
it.
think that one of the best ones I have is of our friend Blue Echo. I just straight popped him in the teeth, and that's probably my favorite clips. Stevie, you said you were playing something else recently this week
Yeah,
that you're really excited about.
I checked out, so I got invited to check out this game called Super People, and it's another battle royale. We talked about battle royales the previous week, and I love them. I enjoy them. I think I enjoy them more than most of the average people that play games because they just hate seeing battle royale after battle royale. But this one's actually really cool. They took the concept that was battle royale and they said, how do we make it similar without making it obnoxiously rinsed and repeated?
Mm.
And they've had there's like you're like a super soldier, and every time the circle gets smaller, you get an upgrade for your character. You can get an upgrade for your gun. Basically, you get all these super powered upgrades, and then once you get down to the final circle, everybody is just roided out and ready to go. And at that point, you're not. It's not gonna be one of those things like, oh, well, that dude's more upgraded than me, or blah blah. No, it comes down to what character you chose, what class you chose. There's classes in it too, and then how you decide to play. So then it really does become a matter of skill and click versus some cheesy. Oh, I know this angle with this gun is gonna have no recoil. It seems to be a lot more even leveled as far as battle royales go, and it was a lot of fun. I played a couple of rounds with it. I jumped into a duos with Wheatgrass, and then I ran into some internet issues on my end. I actually crashed my stream out last night, which was awful. But aside from the
That's always
technical,
fun.
aside from the technical stuff I couldn't control, it was really really fun. I'm definitely going to be checking that out on stream tonight with my boy Judge Judy after this, so that'll be a good time.
Nice. Yeah.
Judge Drudy.
Mhm.
Judge Drudy.
Yeah, I've known him since like
Okay.
11.
I was hoping it was Judge Judy. I was like, man, Shineland's getting down.
Oh,
We're
shivering with
networked.
the
We're
fucking
networking.
resubscribe tier 1 for 10 months. 10 months, man. 10 months. Homie
That
tab
is a
at the
baby right
family
there.
dinner. Thank you
That
so
is a
much
baby.
for the sub. Um yeah,
Thank you,
so
Will.
it sounds like that's would be a good time. Like is that a free to play?
It is. It is free to play. You just have to. They're doing the closed beta testing right now. You can apply to it. Some people are getting lucky; they're getting back right away, like actually instantly, and other people are waiting like a little bit and then they're getting it. But it's a lot of fun. It definitely doesn't. It doesn't go. It follows the same paces as Battle Royale, but it's not. It's not going through the same cadences where it's like, okay, here we go. Like it is a lot of fun.
That's
And
awesome.
I've definitely been enjoying it. Oh, well, one of the biggest parts of the game, you can build things similar to Fortnite. You can't build structures, but you can build guns, accessories, and things to improve your character as well. So it's not just. It does kind of go along the cues of like Tarkov, like looting for items, but you're utilizing those in game, which is really really fun. And there's a
That's cool.
currency system where you get currency in game that you can use when you choose your classes and all of that. I got a tactical nuke, and I brought a building down on people
That's
last night at one
perfect.
point.
That
That
sounds
was it was amazing, and
yeah.
I on stream somebody clipped it. I looked like I just shit myself because I kind of did. I
Did
was like,
that just happen?
did I just nuke a squad of people in a battle royale? Like, seriously? Like that was rad. It's cool. It's definitely one I'm gonna be putting a lot of time into there, especially waiting for the Tarkov Christmas event to end because the servers just refuse to not be on fire right now. So
It's not just on fire, it's a potato on fire, so it's gonna just last a lot longer. Um,
yeah, I blame you, Nikita.
yeah, it's like watching a trail of
As most
fire.
do.
Um, so I've been on that Tarkov train, and thank you so much, Blue Echo, for the sub again. 10 months, 10 month streak. These wonderful human beings are subbing to this channel and checking out what we're doing here. So thank you so much. Thank you for the thank you for the 100 bits, Blue. Appreciate you, buddy. And
Oh
thank you for
shit.
the host on the one view. Appreciate you. Love it. Love it. You love to see it. I've been playing Tarkov. I don't know why I'm playing Tarkov right now. Um,
Because you love tanks.
I get maybe one game a night, to be honest. Like if it's not like a quick scav run into factory, and even those factory runs can take me like 10 minutes to get into. So, I'm playing Tarkov. I'm having fun with it when I can play it. But overall, I think I might just need to be playing something else for a little bit moving forward because it's a train wreck right now. Yeah. So, if
I
you
keep saying I'm
guys,
going to go back to Halo Infinite, but I haven't yet.
yeah, I still haven't checked out Halo. Honestly, maybe we can
It's
get like
good.
a
Good game.
night of multiplayer free to play going sometime and get everybody in there and kind of wreck some
I could do
shop.
that.
You hold on, you wanna play a free multiplayer so we get beat up on by kids a fraction of our age?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
I'm down.
DCS World. Oh, I don't hate myself that much.
I don't even
Oh
know what
man, yeah,
that is.
Blue's been doing a lot of that.
DCS World, it's digital combat simulator where you're flying planes and all of the mechanics and switches and everything are real.
Oh
So you
no,
just crash and die.
no, yeah, I'm gonna die in that.
Very
If you
involved.
guys want to go play some Star Wars Squadrons and fly in there, I'll ace the hell out of you. But I'm not gonna do so well in a real world sim. I will just die over and over again. I mean, that could be a whole stream by itself too. Um, so we kind of touch on some of this stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight over the last couple of streams. You know, because like a lot of the late year stuff from the gaming industry tends to just be what's coming up new, what's coming up next, what's in the future. It seems to be what the Game Awards were all about. It seems to be what Xbox was really focusing on, other than the last 20 years of gaming that they had done, because they did their whole 20-year anniversary stuff over the last month or two.
Mhm.
So
Been 20
essentially,
years since the first Xbox?
yeah, I'm really fucking old, man.
Wow, I'm old. Yeah. I remember when it came out. I was in high
Oh
school.
Yep.
man,
Yeah, I'm
that
really
hurts.
old. I was playing it in
That one,
barracks. Yep.
that one hurts to hear.
Yep.
I was playing my Xbox One in the barracks. Yep.
Yeah. So essentially, what we've been looking at has been the way forward for every company that's released anything over the last like 2 or 3 months. So what we want to do is take a look at what big hype thing that we all have in our hearts that we're most set on. And tonight, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the most anticipated games for this year that are releasing that we as gamers are really super excited about, and that's where this train's gonna go. But first, let's talk about our sponsor. Hey everybody, it's shopcallforfire.com. If you haven't heard about us yet, make sure you come
.com.
out and check out shopcallforfire.com for all of your nerdy, military, geeky, awesome dude, I deployed, I didn't deploy, I'm a medic, I'm not a medic, I'm a fister, I'm not a fister needs. I don't know. Check us out. We got a bunch of different stuff. So to get right to it, we're gonna hop in, and Stevie, why don't you go ahead and start us off and break us down your 3, 2, 1s?
So my 3, 2, 1s. So I'm doing all 3, 2, 1 then. Okay.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1,
Like,
go for it.
just want to make sure. Okay. So my 3, 2, 1. The first one is going to be number 3 for me. Is Gotham Knights. I think anybody that's been around my streams long enough or in my Discord long enough, they know my nerdiness knows no bounds. And one of the biggest things I'm largely nerdy on is Batman stuff. I like DC stuff, but Batman's a big one. Some of the coolest stories that I really like about the Batman verse universe is the Bat family. You know, the sidekicks, the Robins, Red Hood. I absolutely love that, and they've gotten their time in the sun with comics and a couple animated movies here, but now they're getting their time with a game. And in Gotham Knights, you're going to be playing as the sidekicks. You're picking up after the events of what is known as Nightfall, where Batman is dead. He's gone, and it is time for the kids to step up and take over the household that is Gotham essentially. And it's going to be a game you can play single player, but it's also going to have the ability for two-player co-op. So you'll be able to group up with a homie, and you'll be able to pick from one of the sidekicks. Nightwing, Tim Drake, Robin, Jason Todd, Red Hood, and Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. And you can combo that however you want, and just start beating up on all of the scumbags that Gotham has to offer, and I think that is going to be super awesome. It's going to be going off of the same premise that had um, in the Arkham games. The studios making it. They did Batman Arkham Origins. Wasn't one of the most popular, but I really liked it. The world building there was cool. The story was phenomenal, and I thought a lot of the mechanics were really cool. It's so if you enjoyed the Arkham games, this is going to be a cool take on that. You're not playing as the bat; you're just playing as the pupils, and I think that'll be interesting to see. So that's one I'm really excited for.
I never got all the way through Origin.
Origin was cool, man. I had the collectors. I wish I remembered it. I bought the collectors with like the Joker statue, and I've got like it's because it's like a year one of Batman essentially. So I have all like the Gotham City PD like wanted posters for Batman, and like all the unknown like PD files on Batman, and like all
Hmm.
like the Wayne Tech stuff. Like it was so the world building of that was really fantastic. So I loved what they did, and I'm really excited to see what they do with Gotham Knights here. That's gonna be
So
it's gonna be cool.
Looking at the enemies there, they all look like they have levels over their heads. So you think it's going to be kind of like the concept they did when they changed around Assassin's Creed, where they like
So
they started giving all the enemies levels, so it was more a little bit more of an RPG factor.
well, they did that too with the Arkham games as well. You had like your standard thugs, and you had like, like bosses, like the tougher thugs, and you had like armored thugs. Like they scaled it differently. So there were different types of enemies to fight. You got dudes with shields, dudes that might have weapons like knives or stun batons or whichever.
Hmm.
The cool thing is that when they do that, it forces you to play the game. It's not just like an Assassin's Creed because you're just killing everything and everybody very easily. With this one, the Bat family doesn't kill. That's not their deal. So it changes you to
Well,
play a little more a fear style, like you're
well,
trying to
no, what I
like
meant
scare the
is,
enemy.
you did you play when they came out with like Assassin's Creed, what do they call it, Origins, or whatever the hell it was, when they or whatever the one was where they were in the new Greek one. I can't remember it now.
Oh,
Um,
Odyssey.
but they
Yeah.
Odyssey, yeah. So basically, when if the enemies were high enough level, like you couldn't assassinate them. Like you would stab them, and then just like, oh hey, you stabbed me. That sucks. And then they just turn around
Oh
and punch you in the face.
no, no. In this one, so in this one, all it affects is the way that I remember it from Arkham is you could pretty much take anybody down. You just have to be
Yeah,
within. You just have to get them from the shadows. Like if you
yeah. You
if
have
you
to know
don't
the
do it
tactics for them.
if you don't do it perfectly, it won't count. So even if it's like a
Okay.
really high level guy, it's like true Batman fashion. Like, oh yeah, this is the baddest, toughest dude. But if he drops down from on top of you, you have no idea. He's got you. You're snared. There's no way there at
See,
all. And that's what I was
the
saying is that it
classic Batman trope of with enough time and preparation.
You can take anybody.
that
Yeah.
and that
Hmm.
and that and that's what I was getting to is that it's everybody is a target and you can just beat the piss out of anything and anybody. You just have to make sure that you're not like trying to sneak. You don't do the Han Solo. You're sneaking up on somebody and you step on the twig and if what that as long as you don't
Hmm.
do that, you can pretty much do it, which is really rad. So that's my three right there. I'm really
Yeah.
excited for that one. That's going to be a cool one to play. I'm excited. Some of my buddies are going to be getting it. My cousin's a huge. I've had him on stream. Huge DC guy. His DC knowledge absolutely dwarfs mine. It's incredible, and he's super excited for it. So I'll have him on, and we'll have some fun times there with that.
Yeah,
So
it
if you
looks
excuse my lack of knowledge on this one, do you think Damian Wayne will be in there anywhere?
I don't know. They definitely have the so it's the Tim Drake. It's the Tim Drake Robin that they have in here.
Hmm.
I'd be interested to see
is it
Damien come in.
it's Batgirl, Robin, Red Hood and Nightwing, right?
Nightwing.
For this
Yeah.
one?
So yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
you got Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon, Tim Drake, and then Dick Grayson.
Yeah. I'm interested in this just from not playing I haven't played any of the Arkham games, but this totally has my like interest because of just the difference in characters, like just
Yeah,
having that
that
variety at my disposal to play with and like mess with who is who and what how they play each way.
yeah. That's the part that's gonna be very interesting. Is that each one they pick the most iconic ones. I mean, Damian Wayne is awesome, but at this point right now, within like the comics and the stories, Damian Wayne is very young. He's still
Hmm.
extremely young in the stories, but Dick Grayson is he's not the blood son, but he's Bruce, like through and through. He fights
Yeah.
like him. He has the same thought processes. Like they're the same person essentially. They're carbon copy of one another.
What?
And his
Why
fight
is sorry nitpick? Why why does she have eye covers on her mask, but you see her blinking?
They're contacts. They're contacts. Just
It's
just
weird.
just let yourself
Sorry,
break from
that
reality just a
that's
little bit.
it's
that's
it's
for
a
their
nitpick. I'm sorry.
yeah. That's their HUD, bro.
Yeah.
Duh.
It's just
It's their HUD,
refreshing.
man.
It's just the
That's all it
refresh
is.
rate. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so you have the different fight styles, which are gonna be cool. Dick Grayson, he's a gymnast, so his are a lot more fluid type martial arts. Then you have Jason Todd, who, the way his fight style, he has guns. He doesn't mind killing people because he's a Red Hood, and he's more of a bruiser brawler type than anything, but he still has some of his training and schooling from Bruce and from Dick Grayson and there's like some like, oh wow, like look at that, but then the rest of his fighting is just like painful Ivan Drago just beat the hell out of you and not really
Mhm.
care about it, which is cool. Then you got, Barbara Gordon, it's kind of like a Black Widow type, just like very a lot of movement and quick shots and such. And Tim Drake's very nerdy and everything that he does. So there's going to be a lot of like tech combat from him. So there's going to be a lot of variety there, which I'm really excited to see flesh out, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, that
So,
looks
yeah,
like a good one.
that's cool.
I haven't seen it. I haven't really paid attention to it since I think they launched the trailer for the announcement for this one around the same time that they did the Suicide Squad. So,
Yeah,
It was
that's
the
good.
same show. It was literally the same show.
was it the
Yep.
same show? Yeah,
It was the exact same show.
it was
I think
like
it was
here's this
it
and
was
now here's
E3 or
this.
whatever presentation they
Yeah.
were doing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is why I got a little confusing because they did Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights. Gotham Knights got presented first, and then
Yep.
Suicide Squad came later in the show.
Yeah,
And that's the other thing. So seeing the trailer and it's here as I'm ending it too. You're also seeing for the first time in a game the Court of Owls, which is
Mhm.
one of the coolest and most nefarious villain arcs and stories that has ever graced a fucking comic book. And it's just the Court of Owls is every nightmare, bad thought and feeling and hope just incarnate. And if anybody's read the comics or watched the animated movies or anything, they know that the Court of Owls were probably the first group of villains and just bad guys that actually almost beat Batman.
yeah,
Like very easily almost beat Batman. It was like the first time my cousin showed it to me in a comic book. I was sitting next to him and I was sweating. I'm like, is he about to die? No, come on. What are you show? It was awesome and it was super cool and it was rad to see it in the movies and I'm going to be very excited to see it flesh out in the game. And I think for a lot of people that aren't as familiar with it, that just like the games, I think this will be something it's a jumping point. It's gonna be like, wait, the Court of Owls, what is this? Oh, there's comment. Oh, and it's just gonna push into that too.
yeah.
So it's a lot of excitement there for that. Sorry, okay, I'm backing off. Anyway, uh, I'm really excited. Seriously,
Geek out, bro.
Geek
I
it.
am.
Let's geek out on Stevie's number 2.
My number 2 is gonna be um, not Stardew Valley, but Starfield. I called it Stardew Valley at the start because
Bro, I just love that farming. Give me that
Just
farming
love
magic.
that farming.
Starfield is my big number 2. I'm really excited for that one. Between this and my number 1, they were kind of a hard pick, but you'll understand why my number 1 is how it is. Um, Starfield looks really, really, really ambitious. And there's also a lot of questions about the game just going off of the trailer and the images that we've seen from the website. There's a lot of questions there, but it's a lot of good questions. It's coming from Bethesda, which a lot of people are still kind of bad taste in the mouth about them because of Fallout 76. But the one thing we talked about this before the show started, the one thing that everybody knows that Bethesda does an amazing job of doing is their world building, their story creation, their character development. They make wonderfully, wonderfully orchestrated and in-depth stories. And I think that it's super, super ambitious and just it's their first new IP in what? How many years? 20 years?
Probably. I mean, if you look at Bethesda's core software, game company, they've had Fallout and fucking Elder
Elder
Scrolls, and
Scrolls.
that's
Right.
pretty much been it for a very long time.
Yeah, and that's been
Like
it. So
obviously they have other stuff from outside that from companies they own, but they are Fallout and Elder Scrolls.
yeah, like I mean, this looks awesome, and then Aaron and I, we watched the trailer, we looked at it, and it looks interesting, but there's also a lot of practicality within it. It just seems like it's not going to be another space game, because you've got you have your No Man's Sky, you've got your Star Citizen, you've got um, your space engineer, you have your,
EVE
j-
Online, Space Engineers, Elite
yeah,
Dangerous.
Elite Danger, you have all sorts of games like that. This one actually looks as if it looks like they took a lot of hints and a lot of cues from and a lot of influence from big things that are already out, and it looks like they've
I,
kind
l-
of put it forward to go, like
I love
let's
that
check this
P90
out.
there. It's just
The Space
the
P90,
Space
the
P90.
space P90. It just
this
reminds me of the joke of
FN,
astronauts coming back from the moon. Moon's haunted. It's just
What?
haunted. What? Just take this.
Moon's
What do you mean
haunted.
take this? Moon's haunted. Got to go. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it looks FN Herstall all to the stars and back, but it's gonna be something really fun to watch develop, because they're getting ready to go into the early stuff. I think we're gonna start seeing more stuff of it very soon. I'm not sure if they're gonna open up for like alpha testing or anything like that anytime soon, but this is gonna be one of those. It's gonna be fun to watch it develop and watch it grow, but it's gonna be super fun to kind of partake in that and see what they're doing and how they're doing it because it doesn't this is my biggest hope is that they said, okay, what worked well with Fallout? What worked well with Elder Scrolls? Okay, that's cool. Let's not do Elder Scrolls or Fallout in space. Let's just take those same steps and let's see if we can just make something new for that and put it in this scenario here, put it in this atmosphere. And I think that's what we're gonna be getting out of it. And I'm pretty excited for that. That's my number 2 right there is definitely Starfield, not
Yeah,
Stardew
like that,
Valley.
that little blurb just said, "Get a ship, explore the galaxy, do fun stuff." Uh, that one, it's got everybody's attention, and I mean, this is literally all we've seen of it is like some art and a trailer.
Yep.
That's it.
And
It's
that's it.
and everybody and mostly it just has its pedigree. That's what's working
Mhm.
for it right now. We know who's making it, and we know that what they make is incredible,
Moon's
or at least
haunted.
it will be after a couple mods and a little bit of polish from the community. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. I mean, I think everybody's just
Yeah.
really fucking hyped for this one. So
Hmm. Yeah.
Well,
um, it's
I'm
so
trying.
Stevie,
I'll have
what?
more input when my
Yeah.
list.
Try. That's why I'm trying not to talk too much about it.
I
'Cause
I want to
I'm
talk.
backing
I'll
up.
talk more about it, but I think like it just I don't want to take my own thunder or anyone else's
Yeah,
here.
you don't want to steal
Yeah,
any thunder here. You don't want
that's
to.
why
You don't want
that's
to
why
step on
I,
yourself.
I wanted to address this beforehand. Then we're here, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, man,
Yeah,
because I had such a good talk about Gotham Knights, and then it's like, yeah,
yeah.
Starfield is gonna be great. That's
Stardew
it. That's
Valley.
it. That's all I've got. Look, here's the deal. It's all on the list, people. Okay,
It's
it's all
on
there.
all.
We
It's it's
we're
it's on the
we're
list.
we're taking turns. The pie has already been half eaten. We're all have to get a
Yeah.
slice. Okay.
So for your number one, Stevie, what
My
what
num
do you got?
oh, my number one that I'm really really excited for, and again, this is one of those. If you've been around my channel, been around the page long enough, you know I love my build to survives. You know I love my creation, big open world survival. I love those. It's Nightingale. This is a game that I saw a trailer for like a month ago, maybe say like a month ago, and it is described as a Victorian gaslight or gas lamp build survive. It's taking a lot of cues from Conan Exiles, Ark Survival Evolved, um, and it's kind of thrusting you into this magical world of fairies and wonderment and just this cool steampunk esque environment. And I'm all about that to begin with. But the build to survive aspect is kind of a staple of even before I was streaming. These are games that I was putting countless hours into when I was just, when I was working a 9 to 5 and then coming home and waiting to go to work again. It was just work 9 to 5, go play with dinosaurs, work 9 to 5, come build a house, work 9 to 5, build a fucking outhouse just for the shit of it because I love building things in video games, and this has a lot of cool building aspects to it that I can see. It looks like it's going to be like Victorian structures, Industrial Revolution type deals. A lot of variety in the buildings as well. It looks like here you're seeing like the desert. Some of the buildings look a little more, desert, you know, Middle Eastern, style of the buildings, and you have some of your buildings looking a little more Victorian in the woods. Those are going to be cool. But then the biggest thing for me that really pulled me in was the creatures. You had that thing with like it almost looked like how anglerfish, how they have like their head, they have like the light bulb to like reel you in, but then there's just like a giant mouth and maw
Yeah,
behind it. Whatever that dragon thing was, like the wings were up, it looked like a cape with a head, like in a face.
right.
And it really does make you, because I remember when I watched the trailer, I was like, what the fuck? And I got closer to it, and then it went to roar, and I was like, I hate it. I want to hunt it. I want to kill it. so badly.
Yeah.
And that was cool. I thought that was really cool. But then you're like, yeah, there it is right there. But then you're like watching the trailer throughout, and there's just like all kinds of other creatures that they're showing. There's, you're seeing like the Wendigo type, giant antler creature. You're seeing the giant. I can't wait to fucking fight a giant. There's that huge dragon beast thing that they were showing. Looked like the leatherback from Pacific Rim, just big hulking thing, and then there's a story that's in it. They have like these Stargate things that are behind you that you can apparently travel through. There's people trapped in this world. There's you can hunt animals, you can build things, and my biggest thing with games is I love games that have a risk reward. Yeah, you could play this game and you could do this stuff and you could build it, yeah. But at some point you could lose all of it. Now I know a lot of people hate that shit because they feel like they're just wasting time because their stuff got destroyed, but I think those are some of the most rewarding things. Like I made a house, I made a castle, and now I have to fucking defend it or it's going to be destroyed. And that might suck, but boy, does it feel awesome to go, I just defended my castle from a horde of bat creature things, or I just defended my castle from a bunch of raiders, or whichever. Like
Or a
I think,
giant.
or a giant. Like I think that's super fucking rad. And just the world in itself looks really, really cool. And like that image right there reminds me, I don't know, Jimmy, you might remember the game, but that reminds me of the Order 1886. Do you remember
I
that
didn't
game?
play it.
You didn't
I
play
remember
that?
it. It
Oh,
was the one that came out. What was it, PS4 launch that people were
yep.
super stoked for, and it didn't deliver as much as they hoped.
So people said it didn't deliver, dude. I thought it hit so good. It's hard for that game because
I think that
it was
I think
competing
it
with
was
a
just
lot
because
of
it was
other
very
stuff.
short. I think was their
Yes.
complaint.
So they wanted to sequel that, and the sequel to that would have been absolutely cool. Like just okay, here's the deal. When did the PS4 come out? Almost a decade ago, right? Almost damn near a decade ago now at this point.
Sure.
Jamie, look that up. Jamie.
Jimmy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you
Somebody pull
know,
up that clip.
the game's been out
I'm
forever now.
guessing.
All right.
I'm guessing
Here's
the year the Xbox 360 came out
here
or Xbox One came out. So I think
here's how
like
much I love the
2013.
game. You ready? Here's how much I just to show it, okay? I still have the collector's fucking statue from that thing. I thought it was phenomenal. All right. I thought it was great. Okay. It was the premise of the game was that you were knights of the round table who have they found the fountain of youth or the holy grail. They found it, and their whole deal is that they have just been chugging down this black water that makes them immortal, and they hunt down werewolves and vampires and things that go bump in the night, and they fight them, and it's fucking cool. And it's one of those Victorian gas lamp type environments, and they didn't expand on that world, and I was so pissed that they didn't. But everything that I'm seeing in like the world for Nightingale outside of like the wilderness and the desert and all that, it looks very much that same pace of like the Victorian gas lamp. And I love that. I'm not so
Listen
much
to
a
seeing it, the creature designs and the overall aesthetic I really like of it.
yeah,
The creature designs seem really nasty, and that's pretty good.
I love
Yeah.
that stuff, man. Like
It
I love The Witcher. I love playing The Witcher. I love, scary movies and stories and creepypastas and SCPs, like things that really make you go, God, I never want to see that thing in real life. I
yeah.
can't wait to play against it in a
And I
video game. I love that.
part of what is interesting for me with Nightingale is that how much it kind of reminds me of Hunt Showdown in a lot of
Yeah,
ways,
I got that vibe too.
and they're just taking that vibe. I mean, it's obvious. Hunt Showdown's more of like Western styled in a
Yep.
lot of ways, but it
Mhm.
still has that like creepy Victorian era to it because it's all
Yep.
all the monsters and everything that are in it. Um, but they're just
And
pushing.
maybe a bit of
They're
7 Days
pushing
to
so
Die.
much closer toward
Uh-huh.
the Victorian steampunky stuff and a
Yeah.
little bit of magic and a little bit of techie and a little bit of cool and like
Well,
the horror is definitely pumped up in
yeah.
Nightingale, and that's going to add something to it, but also like having a persistent MMO-ish type game
Yep.
goes a long way, and
Like,
we're taking something like Hunt where it's like that is a successful look and feel
yep.
in a successful video game. Now let's take it even further. Let's go even deeper into making that a thing,
Mhm.
and that's I think
Mhm.
what it's gonna make that stand apart, honestly, because I don't like the setting for New World,
Yeah.
and I don't really understand what they were doing there. I think that's like it's like Age of Empires 3. I didn't get the setting all that much. Like
Yeah.
that new world-ish world, like that's not a setting I'm typically going to be interested in playing in.
That's a hard one to do because it's like,
Conquistador type style.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
not terribly interested in playing like the
it's
Conquer the Americas kind of game stuff. Like I'm
it's a
not
foot is a foot in each door with that type right there. It's like half conquering shit, then half like, modernization of, ancient culture shit. It's just
but Victorian
it's a weird niche.
Victorian Wild Westy, I'm definitely interested in, and that
Yeah.
seems like it's gonna be cool. I'll definitely be checking out some streams, seeing if that's what I'm gonna
Mhm.
be picking up. As always with these kind of games, because they're so much more niche, I'm not gonna jump to pre-order, but I know that you guys will, so
Oh, they've already got mine.
Mm,
I'll
I'll
tell
be
you right
right
now,
there.
they've
I'll
already
be
got
right
mine.
there to check out your streams when you do go live with it. So I didn't know about that game, and I'm now interested because it looks cool. It looks neat. It looks
Yeah,
fun.
the one thing that they showed, that you look at games like that, The Forest, 7 Days to Die, Ark for that matter. You look at games like that, nighttime is the worst time in those games
dude, the
because
forest nighttime is pure nightmares.
it is just awful. And seeing that trailer and like watching the intro, like this woman in just this gown with that revolver and that lamp, and the lighting on that lamp is so good. Like you see like the shadows from the posts on it and shit. It's like the detail of that, and then that weird angular bat thing with the head and the wings. It was just like, what are you? I
Yeah,
never want to fucking see you. Show me yourself again. I gotta see you again. I can't wait to fucking kill you in game. Like that's exact.
yeah,
Those were all the emotions I went through seeing that, and I was like, I'm hooked already. Like
yeah.
this, I can't wait to
I'm
see
not
what
a
else
big
there
horror
is.
person, but I'll definitely be interested in like blasting their heads off
Yeah, I'm
if
not a
it
big
gets
horror
down to it.
person, but I can't wait to kill those things
Yeah,
in mass.
I look forward to
So
killing that
yeah,
a lot.
I can't wait to hunt you. But yeah,
So
that's it. I mean, those are my three. They kind of hit on all my nerdiness levels. My comics, my space sci-fi, and then my fantasy. Sword and shield type stuff.
yeah, I think that's a. I mean, it's a solid rundown. Some like pretty like out like for me, those are out there picks. Like Gotham Knights and Nightingale are out there picks, but they are two solid picks for especially like a single player co-op game.
Hmm.
Like Gotham Knights, and then jumping into something like Starfield, which is probably going to be single player if we're being honest with each other.
Yeah,
If they're smart,
If
if
they're
they're yeah
if they're
if
really
if they
going for
learned anything,
yeah,
yeah
so
that'll
we'll
be your
see.
bounty hunter tale single player
Yeah.
adventure for sure.
And then it's sort of like the MMOE kind of game. Like
Nightingale,
that's
yeah.
yeah, I'm down, man. So just to jump into my list, I think we all know what my number 3 has to be, right? Like if you follow me in any capacity anywhere in any time frame, you kind of know that like I'm probably gonna have not much choice in what my pick is going to be, and uh, I'm just really hype for Space Marine 2 to get launched and just get out. I'm ready to murder some Tyranids in mass with chainswords and bolt guns. And I just want to do it. I just want to hit him with the Thunderhammer. I don't care if it's better than the first one. I just want it to be the first one, part 2. That's all I want. I just want first one, part 2. I just want to murder things with a fucking chainsword and get health back and shoot things in the teeth. And I'm so hyped that they launched this game like this. This was the Christmas gift that I was waiting for,
Uh-huh.
and I got it. And now I'm just waiting for them to launch this goddamn game so I can play it. And play it on stream, and then play it again on stream, and then kill people in the multiplayer because that's coming. I'm really excited about this game. I
Hey,
can't wait for it.
hey, Jimmy, what do you think his resting heart rate is right now?
I'd put them up around at least 85.
Yeah, it's probably pretty high right now. It's probably up there. I am so hyped for this. As I was saying, I'm a big Warhammer 40K nerd. I am a
That's an
Space Marine
understatement.
player. I have what 4 Space Marine armies. I just this is my niche. This is what I love. I'm not even a big single player person anymore, but I am so ready to play this single player game, and I hope to God there's a co-op mode because that would be so rad. I'll be digging and poring over every piece of information about this game moving forward. This is one of like it for this to be my number 3 is telling for how excited I am for the other things that are coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's your opinion on this versus Dark Tide?
I am. I think Darktide will have more replay value to it. I honestly think that. I think Darktide will probably have more replay just because it is a multiplayer game. Like you have that co-op going for it, and I expect that they will have some sort of versus co-op that happen not versus but some sort of PvP that they end up doing for that game too, because I think they're probably in that zone where they're gonna expand into sort of PvP play. I haven't played Vermintide I played Vermintide for like one game. I didn't know what was going on. It was released for free on Xbox Gold. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like, okay, this is kind of trash right now for me, so I'm not gonna play it. And then Vermintide 2 apparently caught everybody's eye, and everybody loved it. And
Oh, Vermintide 2 is great.
I
My
haven't
wife and I
played it.
played it together.
I haven't played it, but
Can I
being
play
the
with you
same
guys next time?
developer, I think that's going to have some serious replayability, and I think this will, if they have a co-op mode that you can do.
Yes.
I think if it has a co-op mode, you'll have a lot of people playing the shit out of this in teams that, let's mix it up. I'm going to be a sniper now. Okay, all right. Well, let's do 2 Thunderhammers and jump packs. Fuck it, let's go.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
what can we do?
So
What kind of dumb crap can we get done?
yeah, I never played it. I never played that mode. I just played the
I
single
have not
player.
played the first Space
I
Marine at all.
I played the single player and I really enjoyed it. And then Cam Bravo actually, he played. He said he put pretty much made it sound like he burned out his fucking game playing the multiplayer mode with his buddies. And yeah,
Multiplayer was a blast. They had a wave
yeah,
mode that they
yep,
released. You could become a dreadnought in that at some point. I don't know that I was still playing when they introduced the dreadnoughts, but like they really were like, "Hey, we have this really good game that people love. How can we get some more gameplay modes out of this?" So they introduced the
let me show
multiplayer.
you.
They
Let me
introduced
show
the
you.
horde mode. Like they
Yep,
were in it to win it, and they definitely won people over with those extra
yeah,
modes. I had a lot of fun with the multiplayer. It was actually a little bit trash to me. Like I wasn't very into it because it was like kind of wonky and not built for it. But they did it
Mhm.
right. Like they were like, "Hey, screw it, let's try
It
it."
was a bit shoehorned.
Yeah, let's
hmm
do it. Everybody's doing multiplayer. Let's just add a multiplayer. And they were like, "Yeah, all right, fine." And they figured something out that was actually still kind of fun. And I was very interested in playing more of it. But I was at the point where I was like, "All right, I'm moving on to something else." I think I like got Battlefield 3 at that point, and I was just like, "Okay, now I just play Battlefield. That's all I do. I just play Battlefield now. I'm just a
Yep.
Battlefield player. That's all I
I
do.
just
I
live.
just play Battlefield 3."
We live Battlefield.
Yeah. So I'm interested. I just am just really excited because this is a game that I think everybody was waiting on for the last 10 years. Like we were waiting.
Yeah, I think
When are they gonna
anybody,
release it? When are they
anyone,
gonna release
yeah,
it?
Warhammer fans, so you had your Warhammer fans, but then you had your Space Marine fans as well, like people that just played the first one and they loved it, and that was the extent of what they knew for Warhammer. Because if you try to learn Warhammer, your free time just goes away.
Yeah.
I know personal experience. That's what's happening to
Yep.
me in some of my free time. But
My buddy,
you
my
know,
buddy started explaining Warhammer to me once, and I just told him to stop.
Yeah,
cut it out,
it's such a
cut it out.
deep lore. It's hard to
Once, w-
just jump in, and that's why like games like this are like so great because they introduce people to this lore in a way that's like
Yep,
engaging and fun and like, all right, well, what the hell is that thing? All right, what the hell is that thing? But all right, what
yep,
the hell is that thing? If you try to like read the books for Warhammer, they're like, yeah, it's a servitor, it's a thing. You have to like know what these things are. But if you're playing the games, you get to see it for real, and it like
yep.
instantly clicks, and they just name it. And it's like, oh, that's that thing. Sweet. So this is what Warhammer's needed for at least 5 years. They've needed this game.
They needed something.
They've needed
Definitely
this
something.
game. They have a lot of games coming out, and they have a lot of games that have come out. This is the one.
they put a lot of games out. But it's typically like it's a dice roll on whether they're
Any
good.
good, worth the shit, worth a free download. Like that's
I
like we're
know
not even at that
Warhammer
point.
Total War 3 is coming out soonish.
Yes,
Yep,
Total
that
War
too.
3. I know you, Stevie and Cam are real hype about getting that one going.
pretty
I'm not a
excited for
fantasy
for
guy. Like
sure.
I love painting the miniatures, but I'm not gonna like jump in and get super into it because it's just not my thing. Like I have some Warriors of Chaos from back in the day. Real interested in the big knights with a bunch of armor that are just like you put 5 on the table and that's basically half your army. Like that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in doing because I want to paint them really nice. But when it comes to the 40K stuff, I'm just in. I'm down. I can't wait to play this. I can't wait to play Darktide too, but I haven't seen much from Darktide other than like hitting stuff with a hammer or a chainsword right now. So I know what
Mhm.
Space Marine is. I know what that experience is, and this is one that I'm just hyped to get back into. So, um, but moving on from just nerding out about Warhammer 40K, which we could do more shows just on that fact alone. Let's be
Yeah.
honest with ourselves. I could just sit here. Hey,
Yeah.
check out my miniature. Do you see it? You see the eyes? You see how I painted them? Look at them. Look, they're right
You could
there.
Uh-huh.
you could
That's
explain it to me for quite a while because I know dick all about Warhammer.
dude.
I'm
I
still
would just be
learning,
I
but I
would just
love
be
it.
the guy just sitting here with my eyes glazed over, like, yes,
the
tell me
there's
more.
there's two whole sections of that back there are just 40K armies right now. So I'm the guy. I'm very happy that they have done something with it. Moving on though, because I really could just talk about Warhammer. A game that I am actually surprised that I'm very interested in playing. Um, let me switch over here. I'm actually very excited. Like just kind of surprised at myself. Uh, Elden Ring is not one that I thought that I was going to be super hyped to play. But this might be my first Souls game. I haven't played any Souls games. I saw this one. I've heard a bunch about it. I've seen the open world stuff. I've been kind of paying attention to it more and more because everybody that loves Souls is super hype about this one, and everybody that isn't super into Souls games, like that's just not what they want to play.
Mhm.
Really enjoy this game. So I
I've
heard about it
seen.
from kind of funny guys. They did some intro, not intro, but like I played a demo of it, like a small section of the
Hmm.
game. They got to play it, and I think I'm in. This might be my first Souls game. I just
This does look rad, man. This
I
looks
watched
really
Skill Up, and
fucking cool.
he got into the demo of it, and he was absolutely raving about it.
yeah, it just looks great, and it seems like this is the one for people like me that are like I want to play those games, but I just don't have that level of patience. Um,
I've
where
started
can
playing
I
Dark Souls 2 like twice.
yeah where can I get jumped in and like actually feel like I'm having fun at first? And it seems like the open world is the place that you get to do that. Like you get to feel kind of strong and like learn the mechanics and get better at it before they're like, hey, guess what? Fuck yourself in the dungeons and get your fucking face kicked in. Like give me a little bit of a ramp up to where it's just like, all right, not everybody that you pass is gonna just murder you until you get down into like the deeper areas of the maps. So
Mhm.
it just looks cool. I just am I mean I haven't dug in too much about it honestly, but I was just like every time I hear about it, I'm like, yeah, I kinda wanna play that. Yeah, I wanna do that. Yeah, I just wanna play that.
Is this the one that who had a hand in this? Was it Kojima?
Uh
No, this was George R. R.
yeah.
Martin,
George R. R. Martin.
So the
Mister
story written by
Mister Game of
Martin.
Thrones himself.
Um
Mr. Don't worry, guys, it's coming.
don't worry,
Yeah,
we'll fix
Mister
it.
the book. Mister
Don't
the
worry.
book will be out this year.
The book will be better, hopefully, maybe,
5
probably
years
not.
running.
It
It'll
might
never
be.
come out.
It's not gonna come out. He's gonna die before then.
He's gonna die.
He's gonna die. It's never coming
It's
out.
not coming out.
He's gonna die, and then some nephew somewhere is gonna pick it up and have to finish it, and
Yep.
then
We're gonna
H,
dune the
H,
shit out of this thing.
Well, he's gonna
and then
dune it. Yeah, that's what I said too. I was like, oh, we're taking the dune route.
Yeah.
there we go,
Just
beautiful.
gonna dune the hell
Hell
out of
yeah.
it. Yeah, I
Yep.
think I just need to I want to have that Souls experience, but I just need
Mhm,
something that's a little bit more meatier. I get that those
mhm.
games are just meaty in the challenge itself and like what you're
Yeah,
doing and that is the game, but I like the idea of an open world. I like the idea of the adventure of it. And I'm actually kind of surprised at myself. I unless something really changes, I think all three of my games are single player games. That's not something that I typically am known for.
Mine are too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not typically known for the not PvP stuff. Like ever since Battlefield 3 hit, like I've been PvP, let's go kill, let's go play the PvP multiplayer stuff. Like I want to go and like fight a bunch of different people all the time in most of the
The
games that
hell
I'm
did your
playing.
horse live through that?
What's that?
It's not, that's not a horse, bro. That looks like
Yeah, that's
a
not a
that's
horse.
like a giant goat.
It's a
It's
goat
something. Oh,
horse.
nothing.
Looks like a
Your goat
giant
horse just like
It's
flew
a
up the
goat
horse.
cliff
horse
in
deer
on
horse thing.
Dear
an
gorse.
updraft. Yeah.
It's a gorse. Shut up. Stop it. Yeah, so I think this one's gonna be just fun to play, and it looks great. It looks amazing. So
A horse.
maybe this might be some serious hack and slash adventure time. So I'm
Horses. Goat. Gorses and horts.
gorses and
One of these
horts.
days, I keep telling myself that I'm going to I'm going to just gird my loins to be biblical and just play through a Souls game. And keep starting to, and then I was like, eh. So at this point, I've pretty much relegated to I'll do it when I retire. Like when I have the time to sit down and hate myself and learn,
Yeah,
I will play all the way through the Souls series after I retire and I have the time.
can't
When I have
I
when I, when I,
can't wait.
when I have the time to hate myself in my own free time, this is
Yeah,
when I'm gonna do it.
I have
that's
friends that love it. Like, but between Souls 1, 2, and 3, Demon Souls, and
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, the very first game I ever saw of it was Demon Souls, and we were in Afghanistan in 12, and my guys were like, "Oh, there's a new one coming out called Dark Souls. I can't wait!" And they got this game, and I'm watching them play it on the Xbox, and I was like, "This looks fucking awful." I was like, it looks like you just keep getting your ass handed to you over and over, and then when you die, you lose all your shit and you're starting over. And
God, this is
like, it seems
awful.
like the
Can't
enemies are
believe
just
it.
cheap as hell. And
Can't
they're
believe
like,
this is a
"Yeah, man."
thing. Jesus.
yeah,
They're
it's
like,
just
"Yeah, it's
super
great,"
cheap.
and they just kept playing. I was like, I don't see how this is ever going to be a successful game
Yeah,
series.
I don't know
And
why
here we
anybody.
are a decade later,
Yeah,
just fucking
Yep.
eating my words.
Here
I don't
we
I don't
are.
I don't know why anybody would ever play this. It doesn't seem sensible to me. Me, a
No, it just
Tarkov
doesn't seem
player.
enjoyable.
Me, a Tarkov
Me,
player.
me, a Tarkov player. Avid Tarkov player.
Yeah, me who plays Tarkov
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
what it is. I mean, it's what I was talking about. That it's that risk reward. It's like when they're. I've only played. I played a shitload of Bloodborne. I've only played a little bit of Demon Souls, a ton of Dark Souls 1, but like that feeling you get when you beat something. You know what it reminds me of, and this is a stretch here, and I'm getting ready to make us all feel like old shit. But defeating like a boss in one of the Souls games reminds me of the first time that I beat the Deku Spider in Ocarina of Time.
Mm,
Like just that feeling when you just shot that big bitch off the ceiling and then just stabbed her in the eye and killed her, and the music played and it just felt like you won the fucking Super Bowl. And it was like that was awesome. It'd been a minute since I'd felt something like that, but I remember beating that little wolf bastard thing in Dark Souls in 1, and I was like, wow. I was like, I'm sweating. My heart rate's up, and I was like, I feel like I need to just like take a lap around the fucking street and be like, hey, I just beat it, guys. Neighbors just looking, but what are you talking about? But it felt good to me. It meant something to me. Like it's there, yeah. It's that risk reward, man. It's super rad. They're definitely cool. I couldn't see myself investing more than like a little bit of time here and there for it. Like I couldn't see myself sitting down for those and playing them for like multiple hours. I mean, I'm not that masochistic.
you're not gonna do a no hit run. You're not. You're not.
No.
It'd
You're
be
not gonna do.
the one bro no hit run.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that because I have a child. I have a
That
child
is
for
a limiting
one.
factor. They don't need
And
food or anything.
and B, if I really wanted to, I would just befriend short people and just have them punch me in the groin if that's what I wanted to feel for multiple hours on end.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
Why are
I
you
feel like
only limiting to be punched by short people?
Because if you have taller friends, you're like, dude, I can't do this all day. Like they're bending down, like
Mm.
it's more of an inconvenience for them. I'm trying to make it convenient. It's going to be as inconvenient for me while being convenient for them. That's what I'm saying. That's all that thought and effort that I just put into right there. I'd rather do it in real life because I feel like I'm getting something out of it than jumping into Dark Souls and just going, well, this thing just ate me again. I got to go try to get my sword back. Nope, it ate me again. I got to try to get my other sword that replaced that sword back. Nope, this dickhead here with the shield and short spear just killed me because I have a piece of wood as a weapon because my swords are all the way up there now. So this is the hell we
You keep
live in.
telling me that Souls has a really good set of lore to it, and I
Yes.
haven't looked into it.
I've watched a couple videos on it because that's how not involved with Dark Souls I want to get, but I've definitely watched the videos on it and it is really cool. It's another one of those really well built worlds, which is super
Nice.
fun.
Speaking of convenience, just to move on to my number one, it just so happens that we already have the video up and loaded and ready
Ooh.
to go.
Oh,
Um,
I wonder what it can
and
be.
yeah, so it's my number one is wait for it,
Dun, 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 dun.
Starfield. Who would have
Not
known?
not Stardew Valley.
It's not Stardew Valley. No, 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 it's
Not
not.
Stardew
I
Valley.
heard, I totally heard Stardew Valley.
I
So
totally agree.
we got so in depth on this out of nowhere when we originally covered the trailer for this
Yes.
a couple
Mhm.
months back. We just got super into it, and
Mm-hmm.
I
Todd
have not.
Howard.
That has not gone away. Like I am still really
No.
excited about this
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
because I want to play a really well polished exploration, science fiction space game.
Yep.
That's essentially
Mhm.
what it comes down to. Is I just want to play that. I want that experience.
I want that for me. I
I
That's
want
get
what I want.
the vibe I get from it. It's like they took it from almost from the Martian.
Hmm.
Like
that.
that's kind of what it feels like. It's like, all right, they took a little bit of the art style from like the Martian, where you've got, it's futuristic but also still practical and believable. But
Practical
that's
and lived
at
in.
least, yeah, at least from the trailer.
Yep.
Anytime you see like tape holding a piece of paper up on the wall, like it's kind of like, oh, we're going for like a realistic lived in feel, and that's what we're getting. And
Bro,
that's
you know how much
Hmm.
tape is holding my set together right now?
yeah,
We're
probably
balling
probably a
on a
fair
budget
amount.
here, man. There's a good amount of
Balling
duct
on a
tape.
budget.
Probably not enough.
Yeah,
We'll see.
I just am super excited. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know what the combat's gonna be because obviously we're getting combat. They showed a gun, right?
Yep.
That's
Mm-hmm.
just they're cueing you in to like, hey, this is a thing that you're gonna do.
Moon's haunted, boys.
Yeah,
I mean, at
don't
least
don't
so like I
use
feel
that
like they got
helmet. Like it's literally like tape put on the helmet to say don't use this helmet. Like this is a cool looking universe that's
Yep.
it seems lightly based in reality with probably some sort of spacey, super propulsiony, you know, ex machina
stuff
thing to
that's still in
fix
the
it.
Fallout
Like
universe.
Mm,
here's the goop that makes the world work, right? Like that's
mm.
fine. I'm cool with that. Just I just make it feel like it's real, at
I'm
least a
not
little bit.
with the ships. I'm seeing a little bit more like with the ships. I see more of a Firefly feel to it than like a Star Wars feel, which I'm really cool with. Like
Yeah, I
like
think it's less space opera.
yeah, just it's more practical, like more
Yep.
grounded. Yeah, definitely more grounded in some realism and some practicality, which I think is absolutely rad. Like even the spacesuit, the fact that his spacesuit looks like it would be a pain in the balls to get in and out of, I like that
Yeah.
because
You know, it reminds me
we're
of. Sorry, I didn't mean to
the
cut you off
Martian.
there.
No, the Martian.
No, well, that and also reminds me if
Interstellar.
you pay attention to like early, like Destiny when they talk about like the era before they got into the
Oh
Guardians and all that
yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Uh huh.
kind of that same style a little bit
Holy
of
shit!
space exploration and
Holy fuck! I didn't even think
going
of that.
around
Yeah,
expeditions.
the cinematic trailer where they showed him landing on Mars and that dude's in the spacesuit and then he's got
Hmm.
the M4 with like that weird
Yeah.
futuristic like EOTech on it. They're walking on Mars and it's like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
Hmm.
they're on okay, like shit, this is a thing. Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing that. There was a whole thing about it about before the Guardians showed up. It was
Oh,
like where
and I'm
they're
just seeing it
just
now.
learning.
This is all gameplay as well. This is all gameplay that we're looking at.
What?
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Ah,
No
Yep.
shit.
It's all gameplay. This is just what the game looks like.
Wow,
hmm.
that
I'm
is.
I'm s- I am skeptical.
I
Like I'm skeptical of
look forward to
Starfield.
needing a new graphics card and CPU and just a brand new computer to play this game.
Thanks, Todd Howard.
Yep. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you.
I'm
Todd, it
I mean,
just worked,
I'm
Howard.
skeptical because like we said before, like Bethesda's always been really good at building worlds and really bad at making them work.
Mm.
It's not,
Yeah.
it's the amount of bugs. Like what is, and the other thing that worries me is as you said earlier is like we've seen so little of the universe they're creating. Like yeah, they'll create a really good universe, but how well will they utilize it and the mechanics within it?
Yeah.
Right.
I think as long as they tell a good story, I think we're probably going to be okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And that's,
Mhm.
I mean, realistically, that's what they do. They tell stories. They tell really deep
Basically.
stories.
Really, yeah, in depth,
If
fleshed
the
out,
mechanics can
wonderful.
just kind of be a little bit wonky, but as long as they tell a good story along the way, I think a lot of people will forgive.
You know, it's funny you say that because there's definitely times that I remember playing like Skyrim, and I was really pissed off at the way something worked, and I was like, because I remember I think it was the first time that I ever fought a dragon, and I was one of those I'm one of those weirdos. I side quest the shit out of a game first. So when the first dragon fight came up, it was fairly simple. But I
Just
remember I
just
was
dead.
I was on my horse and I was like, dude, I was like, this horse mechanic. I was sitting in my parents' living room, and I was just bitching and moaning about this horse mechanic, and then the screen shook. This thing fell out of the sky like fucking rain of fire and just roared at me, and I was audibly just, oh shit! Like I was pissed at the horse mechanic, and then I immediately forgot that the horse riding pissed me off, and then I shot a dragon out of the sky with a crossbow, and when it crashed, my adrenaline surged, and I just remember screaming, yelling, charging this thing with an axe, and killed it and cut its head off. And I completely, up until this point, right now, this many years later, did I forget completely about that horse riding mechanic, because that's what those games do. Like it's just you have such an the stories and the gameplay and the atmosphere in general is just so powerful, and it's just so bold that you definitely take things that were bugging you, and you're just like, you know what, it's okay.
It's
You're
okay.
you're fine.
It's all right. I forgot about it
You're
already.
fine.
That
You
was
know what?
incredible.
We're gonna look past this.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like we start dating a girl. It's like, you know what? You leave my bathroom a mess. You keep putting the toilet paper upside down. But you sit with me when I watch my Lord of the Rings extended editions and don't bitch about it. So,
Here we go.
well, we're getting along. This is good. This is good.
Speaking of sitting with it and listening to what somebody has to say about it, Jimmy, let's hear your number 3.
Segways,
Well,
people. Segways.
funny you should mention the game Starfield because that is my number 3 that I'm looking forward to this
What?
year.
What a
Wild.
segue!
What?
Oh, whack
Um,
whack. I
I
just hear
think,
Aaron's heart breaking.
yeah, I think. Well, it's lower for me because I'm really skeptical about the fact that they've put out a release date, but they've released so little actual media content around the game. Like we
Mhm.
have the original release trailer, which was just the splash emblem. You have this trailer poster now that's very reminiscent of like Star Wars: A New Hope, and then you have the trailer itself that's kind of walking around like, oh, this is gameplay, but we've got some very basics about it. I'm sure there's someone out there that's like, oh, well, they explained it all here in this really obscure forum post where he said something about how the shoes will be green. Like, fuck, whatever. But it's another one of their kind of stories where it's Bethesda. I think does really good at building a world and then putting you in the aftermath of it. So like, if the little bit I've read about this is like you're exploring the stars after a major galactic war, and then like you look at like
Mm.
Fallout, you're exploring the planet, different parts of the planet after a nuclear war. Elder Scrolls, like after you've had, what was it, the war between the gods and the demons, or whatever the fuck. There was major events in Morrowind and in
Yeah,
Elder
you're
Scrolls that you're
you're there.
after.
Yeah, shit, he's right. Yeah,
So
you're
I think
you're picking up the pieces.
they're
That's
good in
right.
that arc, and I'm excited to see them go this route. I want to see what kind of technical shape it's going to be in when it comes out, and that's really I think if they can nail the technicality of it and not make it another live service attempt, I think they'll crush it.
Yeah, I think you're right there on it. I think they need to nail the landing from the technical side of things more than probably,
Oh,
especially
and
now
it's
that
Unreal Engine.
they're a first party studio, right? They need to nail this
Mhm.
even more now that they are owned by Xbox. Like they need to hit this because if they don't, they are
Yeah.
not they're not protected by being a third party producer anymore.
No.
You're not you're essentially owned by EA now,
Pete,
right? Like you
Pete
have to
Hines
be
owns your
good.
ass.
Like you cannot screw this up. Like it's like with Battlefield screwing up and having a bad launch. Like that's it for
Yeah.
a lot of people. I think a lot of people are not buying in because they are
25
essentially
years.
a first party developer that completely fucked their launch. So if they screw this up, it's not going to be pretty. It's not 15, 20 years ago. Like it's not back then where people
No.
were like I'm just stuck with this goddamn game now. I can't take it back until like what am I going to get from it? Nothing. Great. Awesome. I'm glad I bought this
Mhm.
video game for $60. Now it's like no, I'm going to get my refund on Steam. You can have it back.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Right away.
I'm good.
I mean, it's like
Immediately.
when I bought Fallout 3, the first Fallout game I played, Fallout 3, and I remember there was part of the map where I went into where if I was looking east, the game would slow to like 1 frame per second. And so to actually get through that area, I had to turn around and look a different direction and either side straddle
Hmm.
out of the area or walk backwards because if I looked to the east, my frames on my Xbox would just cease to exist.
It's like me with
And I don't know why.
going into Ironforge on World of Warcraft. I just had to look at my feet all the time
Hmm.
in order to get through the whole city. Just look at your feet. Just look at your feet. There's too many goddamn people. Just look at your feet.
Don't look at anybody. Just go. Just go.
Yep. Uh,
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
Starfield number 3.
sweet.
I'm optimistic. I like the style. I think they'll put a good world together. And I'm excited to see something that isn't another re-release of Skyrim.
This is
Um,
also true. We talked about it. Basically, just give me Skyrim in space with guns. I'm probably okay. I'm probably gonna be fine.
I
Um,
think their gunplay will be good because I think they finally kind of got gunplay pretty well in Fallout 4. Um, like even without the quick time or not the quick time,
slow
the
time,
fucking
bullet time, whatever they
slow
call
time.
it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked. I mean, it was always fun. That was kind of the big signature of their games, but it was basically because they couldn't nail the gunplay, and then they got it right in 4, and everyone's like, "It's okay."
Right. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think this. We all had Starfield. We're all excited for it. We're all just like waiting to see what else comes from it. Speaking of seeing what else comes from it, let's hear your number 2, bud.
Number 2. What did I say was number 2? Did I say it was? I think I said it was God of War. I'm gonna say I said number 2 was God of War.
There you go.
It was. That's what it was. Okay. I
Remembering
could
your
remember
list.
which one I said was 1 and which one was 2. Uh,
Remembering your list. Wait a minute.
Which
so
one was it?
so God of War Ragnarok. Like you were talking about earlier, like I just want when you were talking about Space Marine, or like I just want more Space Marine. That's it. Everybody just wants more God of War. If you played the first God of War, like you played the early ones. I mean, I played them all the way back to the original God of War on PlayStation, and it wasn't anything like this last one is. It won Game of the Year for a good reason. The
Yeah.
story, the interaction between the characters, the combat, it was all just perfect.
Yeah.
Like Chris Judge, that's his name, right? Chris
Christopher
Judge.
Judge. Yeah.
Yeah,
Teal'c. Teal'c.
crushed it. And like you watch behind the scenes stuff and like it was on just spot on everywhere. And all the twists and the gameplay were really good. So like more of that, like you tell him you're gonna fight fucking Thor? Like, yes, you want to fight like
Yes, I want to
this
fight
scene at the
Thor.
end of 1, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. The head, Mimir was like perfect storytelling. This is the best way to put out
Yeah.
exposition in that game. Like it was just so perfect, and I think it's gonna be great. And also, if you guys haven't played it because maybe you don't have a PlayStation, God of War 1 comes out on PC this month,
This
Yes.
like
guy,
next
this
week,
guy, we
I think.
talked about it a couple
Mhm.
months back. Like one of the first this week in gaming we did was talking about God of War coming to
Mhm.
PC, and I was just like, yeah, I have wanted to play this game, and I'm excited that I
Hmm.
get to play this game now.
Yeah.
I've been excited about the God of War stuff, the re-release, not re-release, but the soft
The
reboot,
reboot.
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
since it kind of launched, and I have since been pissed that I didn't jump on the PlayStation bandwagon because
Oh, it's
these are the games that I like this and like the Horizon games and then the
oh yeah,
Spider-Man games. Like these are the games that I wanted to play, and that's
it's the games that make the platform.
it's
Yeah.
their direction. It's what they do best. It's
Yeah.
what PlayStation does. They do first party and they do
They
exclusives,
yep.
and they just knock it out of the goddamn park every time.
Every
So
time, dude. Every time. Even the Horizon game,
yeah.
fucking
I mean,
the
you got
first one I
what you got
played.
The Last of Us, you got the Uncharted stuff, you got all the ones that we just mentioned. Like they just do first party, they just do exclusives.
Days Gone
That's all
was
you want to play. That's all.
Days
That's the only
Gone.
reason to get that system, and it's
Yeah.
because they play these games and they play them very very well because they're built specifically for the platform. Like that's
Mhm.
the best
Hmm.
part. So I'm excited to play God of War reboot. It comes out this
I
month. You said
Oh,
right? Like
It comes out in like a week, I believe. I think it's January 14th.
maybe
that
that's
sounds
what I'm
right.
playing
Or it
instead
might
of
be
That
Tarkov.
that
So
sounds right. I would do that if I were you. I think that
it's
would be
14th or 18th.
yeah.
yeah.
Either way, it's sometime in the next 2 weeks. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, it's if you haven't played it, if you don't know the twist, like it will have your jaw on the floor at different parts of the story because not just the combat, but like I keep saying, the story in it is just amazing.
Yeah. I'm very interested. I can't wait to play it. Yeah, there we go.
Dad, boy. By
There we
the end,
go.
just be walking around your house talking to your kid like, boy,
Boy.
come here.
I already
I
call
talked to
her
my dog
the
for like a week.
child.
That's how I talked to
Dad,
my dogs
boy.
for like a week.
Yeah.
Actually, the girl I was dating, she had she had three boys, and her youngest one, boy, that was me. I said, not kidding, boy. She's like, did you
Boy.
just? She's like, why are you not calling him by his name? I'm like, you didn't play it with us, honey. You
You
don't
didn't.
understand.
You don't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
don't
that's
get
fine.
it.
That's fine.
You don't get.
It's just a thing
But no,
between
it's
it's just a thing between
But
now.
but he's enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. We're all doing really great with this. And we're enjoying this. Don't worry.
yeah,
It's
Yeah.
endearing, honey.
Yeah.
Boy.
yeah. It's Ragnarok. I think if it's just more of the first one and maybe a little bit of innovation, it'll be perfect. Like
Just continue
they
that
won game.
story. My
Just
They
God,
won. That's what they're doing. It's they
just give
won
it
game of the year for a reason.
let that story continue because it was amazing and just
Mm.
the it was one of those. It was the perfect storm of aesthetic, scenery, and then
Shit, you're
acting.
gonna make me play it tonight now.
Just it just
I gotta
it just
re-download.
it was
I
just all
re-downloaded it from my PS5.
it was just all three of those things were together. I mean, just visually, it was stunning. Gameplay wise, it was stunning. The world of everything inside of it was absolutely phenomenal. If you're somebody that enjoys Norse mythology, and enjoying the culture, it hits all the great notes of everything that's going on in there as well. They did a very good job of staying true to what some of these things within the lore and the mythos is of those, and then just the voice, a lot of people were mad when they found out that the original guy wasn't going to be voicing him again. And when I
Hmm.
first heard it, I was like, well, like who are they going to get now? Because a lot of people were mad. For instance, when the Metal Gear did their,
David Hayter. When they
they
switched from
relaunched
David Hayter to
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yep.
They did Kiefer. Everybody was
And
like, "What the fuck, man?" And it was
I
like,
will say Kiefer Sutherland did not do it as well, though. I
no,
think
he
David
did
Hayter
not.
definitely did it better.
That's what I'm saying is that he didn't do it as well. I would have definitely rather had Hater doing it, and it was like, well, this does kind of suck, but good try. When I heard that it was Christopher Judge doing the voice of Kratos, I squealed because the first thing I thought I was like Teal'c. Anybody worth their salt of nerd knows Teal'c, just the soft-spoken warrior and very directed, like just that voice, and then
Hmm.
bringing that to play Kratos, it was like this sounds like Kratos, like old, salty, retired, just this is how Kratos would be. Just in the woods by himself, trying to raise a, single dad, salty Kratos. Like this is exactly how he would sound. This is absolutely phenomenal. And Christopher Judge
Hmm.
is an absolute fucking class act and just warrior actor, dude. He hospitalized somebody during the filming of one of the episodes of Stargate SG-1.
That doesn't surprise me.
Scattered this dude's collarbone, flipped him. heels over head, and they redid the take a bunch of times, and they're like, no, like you're supposed like your wife is in danger, you gotta go, and he's just the stunt dude is like, just run at me, man, I'm gonna come at you, and you see in the show. You can see like people like cutting in front of the camera as he flips this dude and runs by him because they're like, that guy's hurt, that guy's hurt, and he
He's done.
Yeah.
he
Mm.
blasted this dude's collarbone. The way he landed, everybody was like, cool. But they just kept rolling, just watching him run. And it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Just some nerd knowledge.
Well, get ready for the Call for Fire stream of God of War, I guess, because I
That's
still need to
happening.
play it, and it's probably gonna happen. Because
That's happening.
yeah, so prep for that one.
You
Um,
need that.
yeah, I definitely need to get that experience. Because
Get that in your life.
get that in my little
Get in
little
there.
heart. Put
What
those
my
feels up in there. Just open it up.
the thing that worries me is that like you'll notice like PlayStation is slowly bringing a lot of their exclusives to PC, but it's like
Yep.
3 years after they release. And
Mhm.
eventually, I hope they'll get more in line with like Xbox and release them in line. But I feel like they're still like as long as they're pushing PlayStation, they're always going to be like
Well,
PC release is always going to be second or third fiddle.
well, you look at how it goes too. Like Microsoft has always been like a big computer, big computer tech company. That's their deal. Where Sony has always been like the handheld, like device.
Sony went
Um,
the traditional Nintendo route.
yeah, like
Hmm.
that's always been their thing. Is that so? That's I get what you're saying, but I don't know if that's gonna happen anytime soon. They're just gonna. It's one of those things where it's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and
And it's
they've
not
been
broke because they've
crushing
That's
it.
sold out everything that's ever been
Yeah, they've
released.
every
So
time,
they're
and
selling out so hard.
they've been beating the piss out of Xbox too the
but
last
I'm
couple
but
of
I'm
years.
I'm wondering if like the few releases that they have seen that they've moved over like Horizon or fucking with what they'll see next week with God of War. God forbid they ever release Bloodborne. Uh,
Oh my
I mean, they're
god,
going to
they're
make
gonna
a
yes.
get tons of
ton
money
of
from it.
money. They're going to make a ton of money from those games hitting Steam or hitting
Mhm.
whatever platform they end up on. Like they, no matter what they could be on Xbox and they will make just oodles of money. But they're so
Mhm.
insistent on we have our releases for our platform. We make our platform for us and for our player base. Like that's they want to make hardware and they want to stick to making hardware because I think they
Mhm.
probably make a just buttload of money on hardware and then making these exclusives for that hardware just drives up sales even better. So like I think they have what works for them and they aren't gonna go too far outside of what that is. They are definitely dabbling with all these PC releases, so we will see how much closer those get to the original release. I don't
Mhm.
foresee that happening in the same year or 2 years, honestly.
No.
Oh, I don't either. I
Yeah.
think it's going to take at least 5.
So, um, we got one more game. Take it
The big
away.
reveal. All
Uh,
right, my last one that I'm looking forward to, and I've played through this game both. Well, I've played through the original twice. My wife has played through it, I think, 3 or 4 times. Horizon Forbidden West. Another one, like we were talking earlier about single player, but it's another one where just out of nowhere, these people put together just an amazing story. The world, if you've ever played Horizon Zero Dawn, um, it's so cool because you go into it and you look at it and it's supposed, again, post-apocalyptic, after the machines have killed everybody, and just the story twists are so amazing. And then you get into the fact that they tried to set it in, I mean, pseudo real world locations, like they shrunk down an area and like you'll see landmarks that you recognize, and you're like, oh
Mhm.
shit, we're here, and they'll
Mhm.
call it by a different name, and you're like, this
Yeah.
is ridiculously cool, and you'll see all this different stuff there. And the story in Horizon Zero Dawn was really good. The combat was good, and they're kind of expanding it now with the Forbidden West. So you play through Horizon Zero Dawn, and like if you haven't played any of it, when you somebody says Horizon Forbidden West, you're like, the hell are they talking about? But when you play it, you know exactly where you're going and exactly what they're talking about because it's and you're just excited for it. Like, cool, we're going further west. We're going into California. Uh, but it's the like it's gonna look better. The combat is good, and the character Aloy was actually a pretty likable character. I mean, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's Tomb Raider," but it's better. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Mhm.
The combat with just the way they put the combat together in the series, it just makes it stand apart because of your different enemies, your different weak points, your different approaches to them. Or if you're fighting multiple kinds, it's so good. The one thing I hope they do better is they make combat with humans a little bit more deep in this one. Before it was very kind of very simple. Whereas the combat with the machines is really cool and always amazing, but the combat with the humans is always kind of just like, okay, I shot him and he's dead.
Right.
But
Yeah. I
just
think
the
the
design creatures is cool.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was you said exactly what I was gonna jump into there. I think the biggest thing is that they're machines, and it's painfully obvious that they are machines, but you look at them and they're so animalistic, and it's like it's kind of in the same thing that goes in the thread of that bat face monster that you see in the beginning of Nightingale. You're like, what the hell is that? Don't come near me. Let me see you again. I can't wait to kill you.
Yeah.
Like, and
I
it's just
can't wait to
all the
fight that thing. I don't know what it
yeah,
is. I
and
don't
it's
know what
just
it
that
does, but I'm gonna figure it out.
it's crazy to see that something capture both the awesome just wow of both Jurassic Park and like the first Transformers all in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
Well, it's
It's
funny
And
you say Jurassic Park because if you looked at the first trailer for the very first game that came out, they had this big panoramic sweep across like this whole field full of machines, and it was very reminiscent of that first that first Jurassic Park sweep.
yep.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna need
it's
somebody to
just the
recut
same.
that. If you could just take that original trailer and cut the Jurassic Park music on top of it, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yep. And we'll plug it
I bet it
in here.
exists.
Yeah, and it'll go
I'm
right
getting
here.
it here.
But then
Yeah.
at the end of
Yeah.
that, you fight the Thunderjaw, and it's like,
Oh.
holy shit! Like the Thunderjaw is a crazy fight, and
Yeah,
it's not
man.
a boss. It's just an enemy. Like you will run into more than one Thunderjaw out there, and it's like, oh shit! Like,
It tricks
Yeah.
you. It tricks you because you think just the size and the ferocity and just the intensity of this fight. You're like, man, this is a boss battle. Then you're like, wait,
No, that's
this
just
isn't
an
even a
everyday.
boss. This is just and it's just one of those things of world building where it's like this is just this thing just exists. This isn't even the big daddy. This is just something that's here. Fuck, I can't wait to find more of this.
Yeah.
hmm
As you see a
Yeah, I mean,
giant crocodile move past on the screen
giant,
there.
yep,
a giant Starco.
yeah, it's another real good one. Like I said, they released it on PC last year, and I played actually no 2019 I think,
hmm
and I played it that year. I played it on my PC while I was overseas, and I played it on the PlayStation, and it looks like the first game is just so good. I can't wait to see what they do with the second one.
It's a work of art, man. It's just it's so hard. It's kind of one of those. It's one of those games that they're in a realm of its own because it's hard to compare it to anything else. It's like you can compare it, of course, like your Tomb Raiders. You can compare it to like Uncharted's and all that. But then you say that, and then you go through it. You're like, I can't even do that. Like this is just, you're exploring things, and then like he had said, you're seeing things that are familiar. Like wrecked cars and just blown out buildings, and you're seeing things. You're just like immediately, you're just like, holy shit, like this is such and such, or oh my god, this is it's like didn't the first one take place in like Denver or something, or St.
Yeah,
Louis? Was it?
no, Denver.
It was Denver.
It's
Yeah,
it's
like you're.
it starts around Denver, and so you're. I'm gonna ruin it for some people. Those so spoilers. You're a
Spoilers
part
on a
of the
game that's
Nora.
really old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're a
same
part
as
of the
1886.
Nora tribe, and you have this machine inside the mountain that you were basically born from. And surprise, the mountain is NORAD, and
No.
that's where your tribe got its name. Is you were the Nora, so you were inside Cheyenne Mountain
Hmm.
essentially. And so from Cheyenne, you're working around that entire area. So you go over into like they shrink it down obviously. So you go into like the Southwest, and you'll see like parts of Utah with like loops or the arches and shit. And
Yep.
it's really, really, really good.
Yeah,
And so just like the way they shift the world around and they change it, and they're like it makes things familiar but different, and it sucks you in so much more in that way
yeah.
because you
What?
associate with it.
Yeah, dude. It's. Oh, it's so exciting. Like when you find out that it's NORAD, like you see like a big you see like half of like the Air Force symbol, don't you, somewhere where it's like a
Mhm.
banner or some shit. Like you move it and it's like a lab, like it's like a big like glass window, and you're like
Mhm,
moving through this building, and then behind it you see like half of the Air Force logo, and it's like to most people it's like or whatever, but it's like holy shit, like is this fucking NORAD? And then you figure out what it is, and you're like, oh my god, like
mhm.
it's so
And then
exciting, like
as you're going through, there's more and more. There's more and more. Like they did so much good world building in it that there's so much left on the table for him to go after in this one. Um, and you see just a lot of shit's just left for more games. Like this isn't going to be the last one. There's going to be probably many more if this one's successful. But
oh
there's
yeah.
just so much lore that they already built out of it, and then just all the areas that they can use. Um, I want to see how it's going to go. I'm super excited for this game. Mary's super excited for this game.
I
I
I
can't
like that you
wait
said
to
like
see it.
if it's successful. Like as if that's a like it's gonna like this is gonna fail in any shape or fashion. Like this
I
it
mean,
looks
the only
crisp.
like
They
it
have
looks
the
more of it.
combat down. It's perfect. Like it
Well,
looks great
Yeah.
already.
so I
So
have a
remember, I was just saying, as long as they make the human combat a little bit better, you notice they did there. Like he was wearing machine armor, which is more of a thing in the first one. But yeah, you're looking here, and you're in the Forbidden West. Did they already show the panoramic shot where you see the TransUnion building?
Not sure. I'm not
I
sure what
think
you're
I
But
think it
saying.
basically,
already
you're
is.
yeah. But basically, you figure out here you're in the Forbidden West, but you're in this photo. You're in this video. You're in San Francisco.
Hmm.
So like, look
Oh,
right
there you
here.
go.
You see
Yeah, we're
the
seeing the
stream
Golden
back and
Gate.
forth.
Yeah, it's a
So
little
the
bit
stream
faster
back
on
and
mine.
forth. It's that famous switchback.
Nice.
Yeah, you see the bridge over there.
Yeah, here we
Yeah,
go.
so it's
Yeah, here's the
you get
reveal.
all of this really cool callbacks. You're like, wait, I know that, I know this, and you want to see
Yeah,
more.
Mhm.
that's awesome. Yeah, this is sort of the polish that I think a lot of post-apocalyptic games sort of miss. Is you need to really go for the world building and come up with something that's actually interesting, not just kind of like, oh, it's kind of cool. We're kind of doing something neat. And no, you have to like really nail this stuff. Like this, it's all about storytelling. And if you have elements that aren't storytelling in a post-apocalyptic game, like you're not really doing anything with it. So why is it there? And this one does all that. And I think you're right. This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be incredible.
Hmm. We'll see how it comes. I mean, there's no doubt it's gonna have a shit ton of polish. I haven't seen like it's not like some PC games where they hype the shit out of it, but like most of the games, every game that PlayStation has released on its own
Just
platform
hits.
has just been just solid.
Yeah, they
So
just
I'm sure
hit.
this one will be
She got to
too.
ride this thing. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
she's riding the Raptor.
Holy
But she's still
shit.
staying the shit out of Oakland because it's still a shithole even after the apocalypse.
Stay the fuck out of Oakland, everybody. Um, with that being our last on our list, I want to open up the table just a little bit to everybody that's out there in the chat. Um, why don't you guys start dropping some for us to start digging into? Let us know what you guys are thinking about for your favorite or your most anticipated game for 2022. What are you looking forward to? I know that we're going to be playing a lot of stuff moving forward. We're going to be bouncing around between games that get launched, games that are getting updated,
Mhm.
games that launch new maps, games that are just kind of just stuck in our brain holes because we can't get them out, like fucking Tarkov.
I
Um,
got some I gotta try. Yep.
yeah. So I
I
think
wish I could quit you.
yeah, I wish I could quit, but I like potatoes apparently. So I'm gonna keep playing it.
Potato.
I mean, there's also games like The Cycle that aren't on the list here. I'm very excited for the
Mm,
cycle. There's nothing.
mm,
If I wasn't more excited about trying different game types and game styles for myself, I would probably have the cycle on this list right now. That's a big runner up for me. To be fair, I think I'm the only reason it's not here is because of that reason. It is Escape from Tarkov free version in space.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason it's not really here right
Yep.
now. It's
One I'm
free
excited
Escape from
about.
Tarkov in space. Like that's it. That's it's there's nothing crazy there. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
One I'm excited about is I can't remember now. The Division Heartland. Um,
Mm,
Oh yeah, they're continuing
Division.
that.
Yeah. Division. Anything Division I'm going to
Sifu
be
looks
in.
interesting.
Sifu
I'll
and
give it a
Forspoken. I don't
Nubs. I
think
know
I've
Mary's
seen
excited for
Forspoken.
Forspoken. Forspoken, it could be good or it could be
It could
cringy.
be
We'll
shit.
could be.
I don't think it'll be shit. Like the combat looks decent, but it's just the story could be a little cringy.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of it, it looks very interesting. It has potential. Single player, I would almost like if I was to classify it, I would say it would be oh god, what's the anime when you're transported to another world? What's that called?
Mm,
I'm not the only weep here. Don't pretend.
Well, the anime when you're transferred to another world.
Yeah, it's a genre.
yeah,
Oh,
I don't really know what you mean though.
oh, kind of like Sword Art Online was or
Isekai?
whatever.
Isekai. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's
I
coming from
didn't know
Um,
that.
chat.
I did not know
it's
that.
Kane had
Isekai.
it.
There
Kane
you
had
go.
it. Good on you,
Kane was
Kane.
on it.
If anybody's gonna have
Isekai.
it,
So it's kind of an isekai type concept of she's a kid in I don't know where, some urban setting. She gets teleported to another world and then suddenly has powers and is fighting, and
Oh, okay.
it could be really good.
They
It could
need to
also
tell a
be
solid story
really
on that.
awful.
Yeah, they need to tell a
Hmm.
solid story on something like that, especially when it's something that is a set genre of another medium. Like if it's a
yeah.
medium
Hmm.
that does this a lot, you need to really hammer that story home and have some really good gameplay mechanics that make it fun.
I don't
Like,
think people will identify it really as an isekai because it doesn't really have any other. It doesn't look like anime at all. It's very.
but it's a trope, right? Like we're
It
taking a
is a trope.
trope. We're taking a
Yeah.
trope from something else or a storytelling trope in general. Like this is it's
Hmm.
obviously a storytelling trope, but you see it with the most of the young adult novel stuff that gets released out there, like it seems to be in that format. Where it's like, oh, he goes through a cupboard and now he's in a special magical land with fairies and wizards and shit. Um, that's I mean, it's an old trope from storytelling in general, like for
Hmm.
like coming of
Yeah,
age
Lion Witch in the Wardrobe.
tile
Yep.
stories. Yeah, so like that's what
Indian
we're
in the
looking
cupboard.
at here. Like you really have to like, okay, this this has to tell a good story, and if it doesn't do that, it's shit. And then the
Yeah.
gameplay has to
Yeah.
be good on top of that. So it can have good gameplay. Like we've played games that have good gameplay that end up being shit. Anthem
That have shit story. Anthem. Had that good game loop. Had
had a
nothing
good
else.
gameplay, had great gameplay. I love the gameplay on that game, but it had nothing else. And that's what
No,
I'm talking. Like
no,
when we were
fell so
talking about
short.
Horizon Forbidden West, that's the game that kept coming into my head because they totally screwed up that post-apocalyptic humanity thing because they
Oh
didn't do
yeah.
enough storytelling. They didn't do enough to get you there where you actually gave a damn.
Hmm.
And what story they did have was just kind of flat and boring and it didn't do anything.
Hmm.
You have to hit those story notes, especially for single player games, especially for games that are using tropes that are old. And that seems like it's definitely one of those. Sifu, I haven't seen anything from.
Sifu is by the people that made Absolver, if you remember any of that.
Mm,
So it was Absolver is kind of like a third person fighting game, but it's very technical fighting.
okay.
I
Um,
I played it once actually for like a little bit, and then I got roped
and
up
you
into
got your
something else.
did you get your ass handed to you when you did it?
I remember being
Because
irritated.
I did.
I remember
Yeah,
I
being
I remember
irritated.
it
being
was
very irritated.
Absolver was hard as shit because it required you like you were gonna fail and you had to basically learn their different fighting patterns and styles. And if you just tried to go in and just brute force your way through, you just get your dick stomped in every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it did not have the my problem with Absolver was it did not have a good like tutorial. It's just like, here you go, you're in the
Yeah.
world. Oh,
Yep.
this guy's gonna fight you. Oh, now
That I
you're dead.
remember. You're just thrust into it, and it's like, all right, have
Yeah.
at it, little
Have
buddy.
fun. Have fun. Good luck.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
but
Then again, I'm complaining about it being a Tarkov player.
Yeah, we don't really have a
yeah,
whole lot of space to complain about any video
We don't.
games.
We really don't.
I've
but
had that conversation
Sifu
before.
Sifu is kind of their next, I think their next outing, and it looks interesting. It looks a little cleaner, and hopefully, it's got a little bit more storytelling behind it. And it I'm not gonna say holds your hand a little bit more, but at least gives you a nice like boost out the door as opposed to just like tripping you.
Yeah, just anything to like give you a and that's like one of my biggest complaints about games like Tarkov is like you got to do some legwork to help your player. Like if you're trying to make a video game, you have to have at least it not a tutorial, but like get us there, right? Like get your mission set
Something to
up
help us
to
along.
here's how you punch, here's how you kick, here's how you sidestep,
Even if
here's how
it's
you pick up a weapon.
it doesn't even have to be
And
interactive.
do
Like
it
you
do it
could just have
naturally.
like developer diaries just plugged into the game. Like, hey, here's here's a tutorial video on how to do this,
Yeah.
or here's a
You're
tutorial video
you're
on how to do basic mechanics and stuff.
Instead
you're
of like
forgetting
here go to the internet and look it up.
you're
Like
forgetting
that sucks.
this is coming from a culture who back in the 30s would leave their infants out in the freezing snow to adapt
Yeah,
or
this is
die.
also true.
So
Is
it,
the most basic version of get good noob.
Get
yeah,
good. Get
yeah,
good.
that is all Nikita is doing while he sits there with our PayPal money. Just get good, guys.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Got
Watch our streams. Watch clean.
Stevie's
Mm.
money. Mm.
Yeah,
Stevie's money.
my money, and all the people
No, I
I've
think
convinced to buy this fucking game. So
I
Stevie's
think a old
hockey money.
Vladimir's already got his mitts on all that money, so it's cool. If you guys have any other runner-ups, run them out. Because these are there's a lot of good stuff coming. There's a lot of cool stuff coming.
Yeah, there is.
And I don't
There.
think I have any more runner-ups right now. I think Star. I think I've hit them. I think
Yeah, that's it.
that's what I'm looking for.
I mean, this is what I do for a living, so of course I'm going to play everything that's going to come out because that's part of the job, and I love video games. But the
Um,
ones I'm really looking forward to, those are my three. For
let's
sure.
see. I'm gonna try out. Oh, there's the Uncharted collection, but that's basically already released.
Right.
What else? I had one.
Oh wait. I'm looking
Zomboid. I'm gonna
forward
give a shot
to
'cause it's like $10.
I'm looking forward to Battlefield 2042 being the final game.
Being useful,
Yeah, I look forward to
playable.
whenever it's actually completed. Whenever that
Mm.
is, it should
When
be
it evolves into its final version.
sometime this year. That'll happen, and it'll be a great game. I do have fun with that game, but it is not done by any stretch of the imagination. So, um,
Other ones. Elix 2 comes out this year. The first one was a mess. It was Elix 2. Did you ever play Elix or see anything about it?
I've watched a couple
It
people play
was
it.
it was it did not flow well at all. Like the story and the combat were just awful. Like
that's
they tried to make it work. They tried to put it together. Like the concept was really interesting of almost a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn where they had like tech in it, like different factions. You had a tech faction, then like a fucking mutant faction, different, and it was awful.
Yeah,
I
it's
tried to play through it. Mary tried to. It just didn't work.
hard.
it's surprising that they were able to get it for a sequel. Honestly, like who sat in on that meeting? Like, was it is it has to be like the head of the studio it's his pet project, like he's the one that came up
Mhm.
with it, so like he's the one that's like, yeah, we're gonna do it again. Everybody's like, what are you talking about?
Okay,
Are
fine.
what?
Damn
Really?
it.
Did you see the reviews? Did you see what we got?
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. I believe in this product. I believe in
Fuck
what
it.
we're doing.
That's
Let's see. You
amazing.
have Stalker 2. Stalker 2 comes out this year. Very cool.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. Hmm.
You getting a Top Gun DLC for fucking the Saints Row re-release.
Ooh, I miss Saints Row. I do.
Plague Tales sequel. What
Like the
else?
first
None
one.
of the rest of this really like. So this is something that Aaron and I talked about before. Like I told you this the other night, is that I feel like a lot of developers put most of their weight into just getting shit out in 2021 because they assumed like everything would be over by
Life would be
2022
normal.
and they could start, new projects. But I feel like since there hasn't, we haven't gone back to normal or
Yeah.
anything like it yet, I feel like um a lot of big studios haven't really started these big new projects because they're waiting for some return to normalcy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
And
supposed
they're
to see
also
Dragon
just
Age
like
4 this
really
year.
dragging on getting their core releases out right now. Like we saw
Hmm.
with Halo, like it's I mean it's not done, right? Like we're
Jesus.
still waiting on co-op. Like co-op's in March. Like that's a core studio game that's taking that long to finish.
Yeah, a Halo game that doesn't have co-op at launch is one of the
It's
craziest things I've ever
painful.
heard.
It's painful to hear. And we talked about it. We're not gonna like. I personally am gonna wait until March to pick up
Ooh.
Xbox Game Pass, and then we'll all play it together. Like that's
Yep.
just what's gonna happen. But we're seeing games from major studios, first tier, top tier games that are taking far longer for them to release. And we're gonna have to see content for those games moving forward. Like that's what's gonna have to happen. Like they're gonna have to like build these games, but also start building the content package that's gonna make them actually live long enough for the next release to come out. So I think what we're gonna actually probably see more of is these core games getting a ton more low end content, new map packs, new gameplay styles, new skins, new characters, new whatever else they can come up with that's
You're gonna have
new.
to Rainbow Six the shit out of it.
They're gonna have to Rainbow Six, Team Fortress 2 the shit out of everything that they touch because they just are 6 months to a year to 2 years behind on every single project that they're touching right now. So we actually probably are looking at what the next 2 years looks like.
Cyberpunk might be playable this year.
They're doing a soft reboot on that one now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James, you're so funny. Oh God, you slay me, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Get the best
That's
jokes.
another one I bought in on like a dummy. Big dumb.
Man.
Man,
Hold on.
what a train wreck that was.
Trying to run that on my 980M laptop in Syria. I was like, oh, this 15 to 20 frames is great.
Yeah.
Love it.
How did you not turn your fucking laptop into a fucking toaster strudel?
That was the only thing I had to keep my sanity while I was in a room full of other dudes for 2 weeks.
No, I'm asking how did that game
just
cook? Yeah.
Yeah. You just frost it up. Make it a little bit nice.
I turned the settings down a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I had to turn my settings down on this thing, and it was just ridiculous. I think that's probably where we're at. Is that we are staring down the barrel of like what is actually releasable, and what may come this year. I think we're actually like making a list of stuff that might come this year.
Might happen.
There is a game coming out in 2022 called I Am Jesus Christ.
Oh. Okay.
That will be whatever that turns out to be. I'm sure it'll be interesting.
What's up, guys?
KSP2, Kerbal Space Program 2.
I didn't play the first one.
I played it real early on, and it's like it is a really cute game with absolutely real physics that just kick the shit out of you.
Physics. That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's great. Like Kerbal Space Program 1, if it's up your alley, if that's your kind of like people who like the Incredible Machine and things like that, you'll love it. And Kerbal Space Program 2 comes out this year, and people are super hyped for it.
Yeah, that one definitely had a huge following. Like everybody that was in gaming was definitely playing that one.
Do not have it.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not really sure if there's anything else on my list because like I'm such a one game and go person that once these games are out and once I start like God of War starts up this month, like I'm probably gonna play that all the way through until it's done, and that's what I'm gonna be playing. And then whatever hits next, that's what I'm gonna play, or I'm gonna go back to playing fucking Tarkov and smashing
It's me in World of Tanks,
smashing it with a hammer, just like going at it. So
Ranked Battles in World of Tanks starts in a week, so that's going to be my life for that. Yeah, they say Skull and Bones is going to release this year. Okay.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones is just gonna crawl somewhere and die. It's gonna crawl somewhere and die, and they're gonna find its corpse fucking 50 years from now. When Ubisoft goes to move studios, they're gonna move a couch and they're gonna find it's dead. It's molded, just
find the one disc it's on.
Yep, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is where it went to." Oh man, damn, we forgot to feed and water it. Oh fuck.
Yeah. Well, given how far off all of those games probably are for us, where can you find gentlemen on the internet playing video games right now, this year, today, tomorrow, this week? Jimmy's. Jimmy and Nubs on Twitch.
Jimmy.
Make sure. Me. And what will you be playing there, Jimmy?
We're going back and forth right now. I'm playing this week will probably be the next time I'm on be probably World of Tanks. You see Nubs playing. Actually, no, Nubs was going to be streaming tonight, but she's not. She might stream after I get off. She's playing the first Tomb Raider again since they were on for free on Epic Game Store
Nice.
over the break. So she's playing through that again now that she has. The last time she played it, she didn't have the Xbox Adaptive Controller, so she had a lot harder time with it. And then we're finishing out. We're working our way through Mass Effect 3. We played the first two together, basically dual screens, and it would switch back and forth between them. And I think that's kind of like what I'm focusing on going forward is having games that we can play together. So I think our next co-op game after, I know Mass Effect's not co-op, but the next game we play after this, I think, is going to be It Takes Two because it got a lot of rave reviews this year,
I
and
heard
I
a
think
lot
that'll be a
about
fun
that.
one for
Yeah.
us.
That one was all over
After you had
everybody's.
told me about it, I went and I looked more at it because I was trying to remember what it was. I looked more at it. I was like, "This is rad. This looks really fucking cool."
Stevie, where can people find you, and what will you be playing this week?
Y'all can find me right over here at that link
Oh,
right there. You can find me there, and I will be playing Escape from Tarkov per usual. We've got some people that are newish to the game. They've been playing it by themselves for a little bit, and now they're trying to really crank through the levels to get to the flea markets. We're trying to
I
get
love
them
how
up
you guys
there.
keep trying to be like, Jimmy, just boot it up and play with us.
just come,
Oh
I
yeah,
just
have it.
come,
I have it installed. I
just
I
have
come
it.
know,
get in.
I know. Don't
I
don't
haven't
worry.
opened it in two
The one
years.
the one day that you're live and I'm just in the background going, "Hey, you gonna boot that up now? That's fine. I'm just gonna fly out just like that."
Hey,
Cam was doing that the other night.
Hey,
I know,
Jimmy.
because you should. So I'll be doing that one. I'll be checking out more Super People because I was having a lot of fun with that. Like I said, I enjoy my battle royales, and I'm liking what they're throwing out. I want to enjoy that before the closed beta is done and off. Um, but I think, yeah, I'll be doing a lot of the Tarky there, a lot of the Super People as well, trying to split the time between there. I might throw some single player stuff in there for some razzle dazzle. We don't know. Who knows? You have to just stop by to find out. And if you want to stay up to date on when I'm going live, what I'm doing, you can click this link right here, and
Oh,
that's your surefire way to stay up to date on what I'm doing. I update there pretty often and before I go live, so check that out.
Very nice.
so fancy.
Like I
Uh,
do this for work or
it's
something.
like you already know how to do this. It's like you've done this a couple times, and you've been on the show basically since we started doing the show. So,
I am your Andy Richter to Conan O'Brien. I've just accepted that's what I do. I'm on the couch. I'm over here and go. That's a good one, Aaron. And that's it. That's my that's a good. That's a good one, Aaron. Oh, by the way, these backpacks are awesome. That's a funny one, Aaron. That's great.
If you're gonna be the Andy Richter to his fucking Conan, you're gonna have to swoop that hair up a little higher.
Oh,
Fucking
Oh, a
Aaron.
lot higher.
Let's
Yeah,
get
Aaron.
let's get
Yeah,
that fucking let's get that, something
we'll
about
get it.
Mary
We'll get it.
Streep going.
I'll hit it with the hair dryer next time. That'll really pump it up. You know, gentlemen, you can wear hair, you can use a hair dryer. It works really nicely for your hair, and it makes it look
that's
nice and
good.
sheen. Um, if you guys are out there wondering where you can find everybody and try to find out what they've been up to, make sure you come over to the Discord for Call for Fire and jump in, have some fun. It's always a good time, super nerd out time. All the memes are getting dropped in there. All the military stuff that anybody out there that wants to get jumped into, come check it out. You can always get updates on what is being released on Call for Fire. You can get releases on or updates on when everybody's going live on Twitch. You can get updates on the show. You can come chat. You can come hang out. You can come game. Um, we are always having fun. We are always at it. It's on my phone. I'm always in the Discord. They're always in the Discord, ready to go too. So, um, I feel like I'm missing something all of a sudden.
I'm laughing about the Benjamin Franklin on X Hamster thing.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Just make sure
Oh
you guys come
shit!
out, check it out. We have so much time. Uh, Thank you to everybody that came out. Blue, thank you for jumping in. Thank you for the sub. Shiv, thank you for the sub yet again. I appreciate for free. I know I called you not a real person, but you are a real person, and I know that now. Kush,
He's
thank
streaming
you.
now, actually.
Thank you so much for the follow. Dennis Hennessy 7 days ago. I don't think I got that one, but thank you. I just appreciate everybody coming out, checking out the show. I hope you had a good time. I hope it was informative, and I hope that you guys come check us out and watch some games and hang out with us. Maybe even play a couple. If you haven't jumped in, hit the Discord, come hang out. We're gonna have fun. And I will see you all next week at 9 p.m. EST. We don't know the topic yet, but we'll figure it out along the way. Once we get there, we'll have a good time. Thank you so much yet again. I hope you guys have a good week. Be safe. Have a good weekend. Don't drink and drive. Kiss your mom. Love you. Mean it. Thanks. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
It's music time.
Oh, actually,
Okay. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Love you. Mean it. Peace.